You mentioned that you're open to deporting individuals that aren't foreign aliens but are criminals to El Salvador. Does that include potentially U.S. citizens, fully naturalized Americans?
If they're criminals and if they hit people with baseball bats over their head that happen to be 90 years old, and if they rape 87-year-old women in Coney Island, Brooklyn, yeah, that includes them. If it's a homegrown criminal, I have no problem. Now, we're studying the laws right now. Pam is studying. If we can do that, that's good.
Oh, good. I can actually save you a lot of time. You can't just start deporting U.S. citizens. You can't do that. I don't care what you say. I don't care what Pam Bondi says. And we'll get to what she's saying. What do you know? She thinks they should be able to do it. No, you can't actually do that. Also, like, can we just be done with the homegrown? That's just branding. That's just, I don't want to say U.S. citizen. I want to start shipping U.S. citizens, but I know that it looks bad if I say that, so I'll say homegrown criminals. Only bad ones, though. Only bad ones. Only if you rape an 87-year-old. No word on what if, like, you rape a woman in a dressing room in Manhattan. Do you then go to El Salvador for that? I guess if you hit an elderly person in the head with a baseball bat, okay, then you can be deported. What if you hit like a cop in the head with a flagpole while trying to sack the Capitol and overturn the results of an election? Do you get sent to El Salvador then? What if you have literally dozens of felonies you've already been found guilty of, and you've also stolen bucket loads of sensitive U.S. classified documents, and you sent a mob to sack the Capitol? Do you then languish in a Salvadoran death hole? Do you then? No, it's only the truly bad ones. And if you believe that, please seek help, because they're not even setting up that sort of standard for the foreign-born people that they're sending. Garcia, as we're going to talk about, they totally admit, no, he didn't do any of this stuff wrong. We're not going to bring him back. So when they start shipping U.S. citizens who maybe, I don't know, posted on Instagram about how we shouldn't kill Palestinian kids or something, you think they're going to bring them back? If they start shipping off progressive pundits, or I don't know, maybe a member of the Progressive Caucus of the Democratic Party or something like that for standing in too strong opposition to them, you think they're going to bring them back? You think, why? Why would they do that? They're not giving an inch on literally any of this. And we'll show you some more of the recent developments we've had that are also incredibly scary. But let's bring you in, Maz. So Maz, you're entering in. We've had days now. They were ordered to bring this guy back. They're not going to. And now they're racing forward with, no, we're going to start shipping mass quantities of U.S. citizens there as well. What do you think?
John, Narcos, the Netflix show, season 1 was in Colombia, and then it went Narcos Mexico. It feels like this is a scene from Narcos El Salvador. That scene with the president of El Salvador and him talking about shipping out homegrown criminals is just straight out of that show. I mean, if you saw it in the show, you'd be like, oh, wow, that's pretty crazy. But this is very crazy. This is very real. As we said at the top of the show, oh my gosh, we're going to be funny. But the truth is, it ain't funny, because they have continuously moved the goalposts. The whole idea in his campaign was, I'm going to get rid of people who came here illegally, undocumented people who came here illegally, who have committed violent crimes. And then they started getting rid of people that were undocumented in general, crimes or no crimes. And then, as we've seen with Abrego, they are getting rid of people that haven't committed any crimes and are here legally. And then it goes down and down and down. And then let's not forget, they also were talking about getting rid of birthright citizenship. So they really are creating this fascistic, totalitarian state where they can do anything, and they can just twist themselves to meet what they want to do. So when you say they can't constitutionally, I agree with you 100%. But the problem is he's surrounded himself with sycophants, and people are doing what he wants, and they're getting away with a lot of stuff. They've got people like Stephen Miller leading the way, who is either a psychopath or a sociopath. These are bad people doing bad things. And to your point, as the goalposts keep moving, then it's citizens who criticize them. Then it's the late night talk show hosts who told jokes, because we now really are like a dictatorship, a totalitarian government where you cannot criticize the dear leader. Yeah. Do not make fun of the dear leader or you will be deported, because you are a threat to national security. And boom, They're using those types of things. So it's really, really dangerous stuff that's happening, John.
Yeah, it's so much faster than we thought we would get to this point. We talked about the retribution, the revenge, and not only how much Trump and his lackeys want it, but how much a significant portion of their base does. We're less than 90 days into this thing, and they're already full speed ahead. And the standard for what's going to get you sent to be shivved in some foreign prison keeps going down. So a U.S.-born attorney was told in an email from the Department of Homeland Security, it is time for you to leave the United States. This is her home. This is where she was born. She has every right to be here as much as whoever the hell sent that email. She has as much right to be here as, for instance, Stephen Miller, who said when asked, will Mahmoud Khalil be deported? Yes, he will, as will anyone who preaches hate for America. Bear in mind, what is the hate that he preached for America? I don't know. They haven't presented any evidence of any hate whatsoever. He didn't want Palestinian civilians to be murdered. That is hate for America. If you advocate for less murder of people, that's hate. And according to Stephen Miller, you should be deported for that. Now, I understand he's a special case. He apparently can't get a good night's sleep or achieve an erection until literally everyone with skin darker than his is deported from the United States. But he's the head of his immigration policy. And that's what he's saying on the friendliest news network that he can go on. And so if Mahmoud Khalil can be deported just for holding a position they don't like, not supporting terrorism, not advocating for violence. He not only didn't commit any crimes, he's literally not even being accused of any crimes. And they're saying, we want to do that to U.S. citizens. We want to do that to anyone who preaches hate. You don't think they can read into a monologue on the damage report, something that they think preaches hate? They don't think something Maz has said on stage preaches hate? You don't think that some speech, hey, AOC, we're going to be talking about her speech. She was really critical of the Republicans. Maybe that preaches hate. I know what you think. Well, she's a U.S. citizen. Okay, that used to mean something. What the hell is that supposed to mean now? And so really fast to the Pam Bondi thing. She also was on Fox News yesterday, and she was asked about this, about U.S. citizens being sent to El Salvador. She said, these are Americans, he is saying, who have committed the most heinous crimes in our country. That already is not true of the people who've been sent there that are not U.S. citizens. Why would it be true in this case? Crime is going to decrease dramatically because he has given us a directive to make America safe again. Crime is actually literally, definitionally going to go up because you will be breaking the law every time you do this. Just to be clear, you'll be violating the Constitution. Crime will not be going down as you operate a lawless fascistic regime. Just to be clear. She also said, when you're listening to all these liberal reporters, they keep calling him a Maryland man. He's not a Maryland man. He's part of a foreign terrorist organization. He's a member of MS-13 who, as you laid out in your monologue, came to this country and committed just gang acts. No, literally none of that is true. That's not even what the DOJ is alleging against Garcia. Literally, the only thing tying him to MS-13 is one of their informants, who they won't even identify, saying that Garcia was a part of the upstate New York branch of MS-13, a place he's literally never been. And even if he were, that doesn't make him a terrorist. And so Pam Bondi, like, we were supposed to believe that this is better than if we got Alina Habba. This is better than if we got Matt Gaetz. She will call, with literally no evidence whatsoever, a man that the administration has already admitted never should have been deported in the first place, a terrorist who deserves to live the rest of his life, albeit that may not be a long period of time, in this foreign prison. She's not supposed to be the press secretary for the Trump administration. She's supposed to be our highest law enforcement agent. And she is indistinguishable from Stephen Miller or even Jesse Waters, who at least asked her a question about this, but evidently he doesn't see anything wrong with U.S. citizens being sent by the thousands, the tens of thousands, maybe the hundreds of thousands to foreign prisons. This guy, who I'm sure pitched himself as like a bulwark against dictatorial liberalism or whatever, now is fine with U.S. citizens being shipped to these prisons. So we got to move on to other stuff. I just want to give you a brief moment to jump in, Maz, and then we'll get to another aspect of this.
Yeah, it's crazy that the Nazi Party is allowed. They allow their Nazis to march down the streets. They allow their Proud Boys and their Oath Keepers to go and beat on cops and try to overthrow democracy, actually. And if you criticize the people and the Palestinians getting killed in Gaza, then you are un-American. Yeah, right. All right, Stephen Miller, that sounds about right. And the fact that these guys, like you said, Pam Bondi, there's no guardrails anymore. And there's no one that's talking sense. The Constitution is gone in these people's minds. They are creating the rule and the law as they go. And to your point, again, once again, with the gentleman in El Salvador, they admitted that they sent him wrong, that they wrongfully sent him there. When an airline messes up your booking, they quickly turn around and fix it, and you end up where you got to end up. And for these people to pretend like, oh, I can't do anything. Well, I can't do anything. No one can do anything. And this poor guy who's got a wife and children are sitting there waiting for him. He's got a 5-year-old kid going, where's dad?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, these guys are just playing their politics. Like there's zero sympathy or empathy, and the cruelty is the point, and they're trying to scare people and have a chill effect on people. But the hope is we keep talking about it, we keep putting it out there, and eventually something gets done to stop these dictators.
I'm glad that your mind went there, Maz, because that's exactly what I want to talk about now, because that's what's been bothering me so much about all of this, over and above the unconstitutionality and all of that. But I want to turn to that right now. This sort of like cold, casual cruelty, the evil of all of these people being like, I don't care if he ever comes back, and we're going to send a whole lot more people.